But when you realize the choice, you're going to realize what's up as well. I can tell you that choice, but I don't know that'd be a surprise. Other than, again, I think I've already said it. If you want me to take the mystery out of it, that's fine, but, you know, the choice is either you can remain who you are, which I think only the elites will do that. And I'm not talking about the government elites, I'm talking about the elites of the humans, which you're going to WTF over who that is. It's going to be the exact opposite of who you thought it was going to be. The exact opposite, I'm not kidding. This is excluding nearly all light workers, because nearly all light workers were based their lives purely on peace, love, and light. Not much else. They're not looking for depth. They can't even describe what's beyond the fifth dimension, and most light workers and truth and new ages will describe the fourth and fifth dimension as creation realms, where you can just manifest stuff right in front of you. No, that's basically not being realistic, but also it does not work that way. Beliefs don't bring anything. They're temporary structures. They have no substance. Where's belief in eternity itself? Where's faith in eternity itself? Where's hope in eternity itself? Where's doubt in eternity itself? Where's question in eternity itself? Etc., etc. That's why it's very simplistic to just drop everything around you and evolve in the standards of life and evolution. But you don't have to go through that trouble now, per se, because that's pretty much going to happen on its own. Everyone's linked to their own story vault. Everyone's linked to their own database. They're all linked to their own database of all these collaborations, of all these considerations that they were not considering that could have helped their situation meaningfuls. That could have helped that other situation, that could have helped that situation. Anglism, optionism, gatewayism, they're going to realize it all. Eternity exists. I mean, hence the ramifications. Trust me, when you see the visual, you'll see what I mean. But that's the difference. Describing these occurrences, describing these details before Dyssia, before the actual transition. That's the difference. That's the weirdness about this information. Though distinctly very, very authentic and original, and it's very distinct differences than any other YouTube channel on YouTube itself. And 99 or 98 to 99% of my predictions have come to pass. I am basing my consistency on my information, which means 98 to 99% of my predictions being correct means my information is also 98 to 99% correct. Do you know what this means? It means I am correct. This is why you have not seen this channel pulled. This is why you have not seen me disappear. This is why the government will not mess with me. They are very interested, but they are also afraid of me, because they realize that my information is not only correct, but it's beyond the secrets that they don't even have access to. It's beyond networkings they don't have access to. It's beyond information vaults that they do not have access to because of where I come from. I can describe nebulas. I have a 5.5-part series on nebula. It's called Nebula Philosophies. There are no videos out there that describe nebula as sentient beings or any discussion henceforth. This is not just a creative mind. Creative minds of fantasy do not predict. I predicted this clash. I predicted that Americans are going to wake up in a way that is going to WTF y'all, and yes, it happened. And literally on the night that there was a swing vote by the American people, the third band by the Red Star Nebula entered. I mean, this is consistency. This is the beauty of consistency. It's been a long time since I've done a video, but I'd say this was done very smoothly. There's a few parts that are, a little off, but can you blame me, right? With this type of information. But this concludes this. This is the final video of the Center of Disease channel. The next video that will pick up a bit after this will be the Phoenix Within channel. It will either be the main or the second to the main of YouTube itself. If I'm right, that means the main websites of the world will swing my way. Because of who I am. When you realize who I am, you're going to realize how interconnected I am. Because I love life. And I love love. life lovers, I don't know how many there are of you out there, but those who are life lovers will be able to walk amongst in this new existence without almost any issues. I mean, they're going to have this in awe, like, there's so much to discover, and I want to discover, you know, momentum and moments. But most persons are going to realize they're not even ready to move in such an existence, because there is just so much that they're going to be reflecting. Many of y'all are going to be reflecting for a long amount of time. Be prepared to be reflecting for years, possibly. In my precognitions for the human race, my number that it will take for the human race to reach the status of where I'm at right now, that is to say, evolved as well, which I'm not sure to what extent that is now, that's for sure, but it's about 400 to 600 years. Because there is you all don't realize it, but you all probably have had tens to hundreds to even maybe millions to tens to even maybe hundreds of millions of past lives. You might really need to be prepared for quantifications, because all that information from that time, the physicality cannot hold. This is why you all are not having past life realizations, because your physicality would deplete, your physicality would fall apart. Your body knows what you can deal with. This is also partially why you have locked parts in your mind, is because your mind, your body is connected to the universe in the way of saying you're in the universe. To discern them in the thin line in between, you got to always keep in mind that, you know, simplify, don't complicify. But anyway, your physicality is not built to withstand past life and all that information, all those angles up to this point, back, forward, in between, potentialities, evolution, to many, many more other angles. You have to be metaphysical to go through this process. So the process beginning, I imagine most people are going to feel like supercharged or something. Very supercharged. It's going to feel like authentic sparks or lightning flowing through a certain limb or just part of the body. It depends. And the nature of the core self, which I cannot say, your core self defines you, will present itself. And your story begins there. The story of this universe and the story in general stays the same, but your story, of course, being your own. And then you will see there's two pictures: your story and the story around you. Once you've discerned, once you understand what 3 means and how powerful 3 is by itself, you'll then realize what options you have, aka what evolutionary choices you have, now that you know the difference between you and the story itself, which, believe me, is going to take some time. And you have all the time. You have eternity. There'd be no pressure on you. You could stand in the same spot for 5 years. Anyone who's staying in the same spot for 5 years, they're definitely going through some deep shit. And we're not going to mess with them. We're not going to sit there and taunt you. No. I mean, if you are there and you're standing in a position, that means it's okay. That means it's where you belong. Whereas some persons, they might only be able to withstand themselves, like tolerating who they realize they are, and they're only able to withstand the beauty of the existence that they're now in for so long before they know that they're going to go to a certain realm. I mean, everyone has their own story, but also their own way of being, and they have to also unravel and untie and realize, to understand, to go from whatever realm that they're in into the realm that we would be in. And if they can make it, they can make it. If they can't, they can't. This is about individuality is also. This is about really being able to define yourself and stand on your own. I mean, you have eternal circumstances around you and have absolutely everything of use around you. You know, that's one thing. But to have put themselves in position over and over and over, past life after past life after past life, and possibly tens to hundreds of thousands of times over and over, there's only so many chances you get, you know, before, you know, it's like said, okay, it's wrong, and you're basically wrong. Which that would be lame. That would be categorized as lame. So you go to the lame realms, to whom that applies to. That concludes this video. There's so much for everyone to realize. I was wondering how this video was going to go. It went well. Went quite well. It was very fluent. I'm satisfied with the information conveyed, and the detail and articulation level is quite exceptional. But again, the OP terms, it's not for now. Trust me. Once you realize what these OP terms are, you will not want to think the word question. At some point, you're gonna realize possibly what the word sin means. Sin, if to be defined, would mean to question something, someone, or a certain subject in a way of doubt, which would be to say that you would be questioning the person that saved the very world that person was on, saved them, and saved the universe that they existed in. That's the difference. That would be a term, sin. An actual term. But we have yet to see if that term will be used or not. We don't know. But I've seen plenty of examples where I've shed a lot more information than I have right now. This was clarity. This was very clear. This was vocalized very well. Good details. But there have been persons that I have conveyed just about as well, if not even more. Typing is much easier than talking for me, that's for sure. But they tripped out. They demonized everything I said. I would say evolution eternal, and they would say I'm a hateful person. So I think, unfortunately, because people are putting themselves in unnatural circumstances and doing unnecessary things, sin apparently is now a word now. I mean, persons are putting themselves in positions and creating terminologies that just aren't even necessary. But if that's what's going to happen, the term's going to be actualized and applied to those to it applies to. So a lot of persons are not going to realize it, but they're, to not realize is to basically be without mind, that they're a danger to themselves, and so a lot of unnecessary stuff happened, and luckily I was able to make most of it not in vain. To the fullest of the wingtips, to the farthest of the soar, within eternal grasp, the eternal lore. The story presented, the irony represented, your core self realized, you a portrait in your hallway of portraits, aka persona. This is not your only goal in life. This is not going to be your primary persona. For some it might be. It might be a very pivotal moment. But chances are most are going to realize sometime in their past life they had they were thriving better. You to define yourself, that's what I mean when I say self does to self. That says also self goes to where self goes. Whatever applies to you. That will be it. And my birthday is, let me check the time. Almost the 4th. It's 6 days from now. I am the Phoenix for then.